One of the strangest mysteries in the Sonic series comes from the English manual for Sonic Adventure. In the character introduction section, Sonic's bio says that Sonic's adventure begins just as he is returning home from a long journey. Wait, what long journey? What exactly are they referring to here? Naturally, you think that this journey had to have been in a game released before Sonic Adventure, so we have a lot of options. Sonic 1, Sonic 2, Sonic CD, Sonic Chaos, Sonic Spinball, 8-bit Sonic 1, 8-bit Sonic 2, like I said, a lot of options. However, I don't think it's any of those games, because the manual specifically says that Sonic Adventure begins just as Sonic is returning home from a long journey. So it has to be something relatively recent to 1998 when Sonic Adventure came out. I guess a good place to start is Sonic's journey on Angel Island in Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Sonic 3 and Knuckles came out in 1994, so that's only 4 years earlier from 1998 when Sonic Adventure released. Also, the manual says that Sonic is returning home from a long journey, so I don't know if one of the shorter, smaller spin-offs would really be appropriate. Sonic 3 and Knuckles was probably the last really big adventure that Sonic went on. However, Sonic did go on some other trips in the games released during the 4-year gap between Sonic and Knuckles and Sonic Adventure's release, like his journey to Flicky Island in Sonic 3D Blast, released in 1996. While Traveler's Tales developed Sonic 3D Blast, Sonic Team, the developers of Sonic Adventure, were involved in the making of 3D Blast as well, so that's another potential connecting piece. Although, I don't think the manual is referring to 3D Blast because of this one conversation that Sonic and Tails have near the beginning of Sonic Adventure.
Hey Sonic, long time no see, huh?
Tails says, "Long time no see." This implies that Sonic and Tails haven't kept in contact recently, and that it's been a good amount of time since Sonic and Tails last saw each other. What does this have to do with Sonic 3D Blast, you might be asking? Well, Tails was in Sonic 3D Blast. You can't play as him in 3D Blast, but by interacting with him, you can go to the game's special stages and potentially get a Chaos Emerald, and by collecting all 7, of course, you can get the true ending. The adventure manual says that Sonic is just returning home from a long journey, so whatever long journey he was on, Tails was almost certainly not there with him, so I doubt that journey was Sonic 3D Blast. Tails not being on that journey is actually a really helpful piece of information, because that helps us eliminate a lot of other games as well, like Sonic Triple Trouble, Sonic the Fighters, and Sonic R, as Tails was in those games too. However, with those games not being in the running, that really limits the number of potential options that we have. Sonic R was the last even remotely significant Sonic game released before Sonic Adventure, so since Sonic R can't be it, the only plausible theory I have is that this long journey was just some random off-screen adventure that Sonic had that was never featured in any game. But honestly, I'm not satisfied with that. So, let's get a little funky, a little kooky, a little crazy, and look at the Sonic timeline. Going by the official Sonic timeline on the Sonic Channel website, Sonic Adventure is the 3rd game in the modern Sonic era, smack dab in the middle between Sonic 4 Episode 2 and Sonic Shuffle. Side note, the fact that Sonic Shuffle is canon is crazy, but anyways, Sonic Adventure takes place after Sonic 4. This doesn't make sense, for 2 reasons. One, because obviously Sonic 4 Episode 2 came out over a decade after Sonic Adventure, so I highly doubt Sega was referring to Sonic 4 when they wrote this manual. But then again, maybe with this timeline they wanted to retroactively make the Sonic Adventure manual make sense by implying that it's referring to Sonic 4. Though, honestly, none of this matters, because of the second main reason why I don't think Sonic 4 Episode 2 makes sense as Sonic's long journey. That reason being, Tails was in Sonic 4 Episode 2. He's literally right there. So unfortunately, we're back to square one. While I'm not exactly excited about it, my best guess as to what this journey is probably the 1996 game Sonic Blast. Tails wasn't in that game, so I think Sonic Blast fits the best as the long journey that the adventure manual is referring to. I guess the reason why I find this one sentence in the Sonic Adventure manual so fascinating is because the manual deliberately keeps it vague as to what this journey is, and they even included a little ellipses at the end there to further add to the mystique. It's almost like they wanted you to ponder what sort of crazy adventure Sonic went on before the Sonic Adventure. Let me know in the comments what you all think this long journey was. Speaking of manuals, one of the weirdest mistakes I've seen in an official piece of Sonic media comes from Sonic Advance's US manual. Sonic Advance's US manual is pretty cool. It's in color, which is always nice, there's plenty of in-game screenshots, and it has my favorite part of video game manuals, the ads for other games. I always love looking at these to see what other games are coming out, and nowadays it's a nice reminder of what the game catalog was for a particular company at the time. For example, Sonic Advance was released around the same time as Sonic Adventure 2 Battle in the US. But just like with the Sonic Adventure manual, one really strange detail comes from the character bio portion. As you can see, this was a common thing for Sonic game manuals to have, little short descriptions of all the characters to get new fans familiar with the cast. Let's take a look at Knuckles' section. Knuckles is a rascal anteater with a heroic heart. Now, maybe this is new information, but last time I checked, Knuckles is an echidna. His name is literally Knuckles the Echidna. It's right there. Now, to be fair, in real life, echidnas do eat ants, and echidnas are apparently nicknamed spiny anteaters. In fact, the US Sonic Adventure Manual even specifically refers to Knuckles as a spiny anteater. So I guess calling Knuckles an anteater is like a half error? I'm pretty sure that Sega considered this to be an error, as when Sonic Advance was re-released as a part of the Sonic Advance and Sonic Pinball Party combo pack, the Sonic Advance portion of the manual was changed, so that Knuckles' bio refers to him as a rascal echidna instead of an anteater. Likewise, in the updated port of Sonic Adventure DX Director's Cut on the GameCube, Knuckles' bio refers to him as a spiny echidna instead of an anteater. You know what? I guess this is just gonna be the manual episode because our last topic is the Sonic 1 US manual. Now, early Sonic lore was really weird as they hadn't yet ironed out a lot of the kinks regarding Sonic's past. For one, in the Sonic 1 US manual, it stated that Sonic's shoes give him his super speed. Nowadays, it's implied that Sonic is just naturally really fast, so seeing that back in the day he was basically just a normal hedgehog with some crazy sneakers that gave him super speed is wild. Now, the manual specifically refers to these shoes as power sneakers, and it also refers to the power-up that makes Sonic run faster as power sneakers as well. So maybe Sonic is naturally fast, and the manual is referring to these power sneaker power-ups as giving him even more speed. Or maybe Sonic is like doubling up by wearing 2 pairs of shoes to run even faster. I don't know, it's just another weird piece of Sonic lore. But anyways, I think that's it for this video. If you're interested in watching more videos where I talk about stuff, you can check out the last video I did on weird Sonic lore and glitches. If you want a lot of stuff to watch, here's a whole playlist of Sonic videos for you to check out if you're looking for something to marathon or to just have something to listen to as background noise. That's all I've got to talk about for today though, so thanks for watching y'all, and have a great rest of your day.